Hey guys, Nicola here, and today we're going to be learning how to construct the fox. This is one of my favorites, and it's a little bit more challenging to assemble. So if you haven't watched the quick start guides, I would encourage you to go back and check those out before you jump to this. So you can actually construct the fox using 29 pieces, so that's less than one set. So within one kit, you can assemble this and many other things. And in order to do this tutorial, I'm going to actually be reverse engineering how I assembled it in the first place. So hopefully you guys can take some of that information and use it when you're considering how to create your own designs. So yeah, let's get started. To begin with, the fox head looks like it's made of a four-sided pyramid. So I'm gonna take 4 pieces and go ahead and construct the head. So I'm going to be using a combination of side-by-side assembly like this. We're also going to be reversing the pieces. As you can see, this little four-sided pyramid actually comes together to create the face of the fox, and we have the ears back here, and what I need to do is just complete these little ears. And in order to do that, I've connected I've connected 2 pieces together to create a flat sort of sculptural element, right? And now a nice trick to do that is when you're putting the pieces together, to leave yourself a bit of room here and don't fold one of the flap sides. Keep that one open so you can see what's going on this side. Because what happens is if you just insert the tab all the way through, that will create an obstruction for the other end. So you, instead of doing that, go ahead and insert the tab, make sure it's going through both sides here. But on this side, maybe just push it slightly with your thumb so it doesn't create that type of obstruction, and then you can close the other little flap door and complete this flat element here, which becomes one of the ears. I'm going to do that on the other side as well. Again, I have this open on this side. I'm going all the way through on the other side, but making sure that it's not coming out and poking through here. Then I can close this and insert the tab on the other end. Okay, and that's starting to come together. It's starting to look like the fox head. Looks like I just closed the back here. So let me insert these elements. Again, you know, your first order of operations is to make sure that your tabs are nicely inserted through. Now, the reason I didn't insert the bottom here is because this is actually an element that we're continue building from on this side. So if we're looking at it from the same point of view, so this piece goes here. I'm going to secure the top, and I'm going to add an element like so. So gotta make a little bit of room here to insert this tab. I can secure that in place right there. And I'm gonna do the other side too now. I'll put that together. And it looks like this is actually a flat assembly as well, just like the ears. So I'm going to complete this section as well. Now what you can do here, this is another little trick I'm going to share with you guys. So for something like this, what I would do is kind of pinch the tip, like the end of these two pieces where they come together back here, and then create a little opening so that you can easily insert the tab, and that's not going to create any problems on the other end, right? And then you can pop that back together, right? Looks like we have another piece here. Continuing with the back, with the shoulders, I guess, of the little fox. So I'll put that together. And what we have for the legs, or the paws, however you want to look at it, is we have another element coming through here. And then there's another piece that creates another flat element here. So let's go ahead and put that in place. Now there are a couple ways you can do this when you have to construct a number of these flat elements together. You can just keep building up and use the little trick that I showed you just a moment ago, or you can sort of take this aside and build it separately. Now, by pinching the tip and squeezing the sides, this gives you some volume. And once you have that volume, you can insert the tab easily. And now we can join the little paw and put it in place. Okay. And we can do that, the same thing on the other side here. So again, flipping this piece over, have that here, and I'm going to need this side to be secured. Pop and lock. You just pop it and you lock it in place. And now this one is also ready to be joined. Okay, I'll put that in place. Now the bottom of these elements, the bottom side, actually these two are joined together side by side, like so. And there's another piece that comes out down here that completes the front side of the construction. So what's really nice about this is that it's all, you know, it's a symmetrical construction pattern. So building with symmetries, you know, allows you to make something that begins to look reminiscent of the animal or the sculpture that you're trying to create. So even if it's not exactly, if it doesn't look exactly right, you can kind of add or remove elements and kind of change the configuration to make it to bring it closer to what you're looking for. You know, there's not really any mistakes you can make when you're building with the system. You know, as long as you have a little bit of patience and persistence, you can pretty much build anything. So I know when I was going off on a tangent here, but when I was kind of discovering this, it looked quite a bit different from this. And then, you know, I continued to sort of shape and reshape and redesign the way the pieces come together until you get something that looks pretty nice, like this little fox. You know, and as you discover different forms and different ways of constructing with the system, you're going to come up with your own designs and create some pretty cool stuff, I hope. So anyways, back to the fox. So I have this little piece right here, and what I just did was I added this component, and that forms the center of the fox. So let's complete that and add that in place. And one more piece right here to create this side. Oh, that's starting to look closer and closer to what we have here. So what we're gonna need to do is the same thing we did with the front paws. We're going to do with the hind paws here. Now again, I want to put the piece in place first where I know it's going to go. If I'm going to construct it separately of the structure itself, I want to make sure that I'm linking together the right end, because not every side will come together to join with this. Sometimes you need to reverse the orientation of the pieces in order to be able to join them. So chances are if I just did this randomly and just joined, like if I wanted to create all of the legs, all of the little paws separately and have them all kind of in line, chances are they wouldn't all match up, because on this side I need to have a flap open, while on this side I need to have a little tab open. So if I had the opposite end, it wouldn't link together, and I'd have to reverse them. Okay, so this is the end. We need to join to a point. 4 little paws, and what we need to do is actually complete the bottom of the fox here. So I'm going to add one more piece. And there's another piece that goes here. So it'll be a lot easier to link these together once I have another element, sort of giving it a little bit more structural stability and rigidity, because when you have angles in a form, your form is going to be a lot sturdier. Okay. Whereas if you're joining flat pieces together, it will be easier to pull them apart. But when you introduce folds, that's the amazing thing about building with the system. So when you're introducing folds, that creates a structural element, kind of creates rigidity. It makes everything stable and solid. So the more external edges you have, the stronger your form will be. Whereas if I was just trying to put this piece together just on its own, it will be a little bit difficult for me to keep it in place if there's no outside edges supporting it. Okay, it looks like this side. I was gonna say it looks like it closes in, but actually the bottom of the fox is the part that closes in. And on this side we have one more element. So we'll put that in place here. And we'll add the other side. And put that in place. And I know I'm going kind of fast here with the way I'm adding the pieces and fastening everything together. So, you know, feel free to pause the video and catch up. It looks like we're at the tail end of this instructional. So, gonna complete that, and we have a nice little tail, and you can well, there are a couple ways you can close this up. You could, if you wanted to, not really close it up all the way. You could kind of keep it open like this, and this becomes a nice little happy fox, you know, or you know, close it, close the little flap doors, and again pinch the sides. You're gonna have to pinch the sides kind of hard here to make this pop out, and insert the tab through. So this one actually came all the way through, so I'm gonna redo that. Insert the tab on this side. Insert the tab on this side. And that's the fox. And we have one extra piece out of the set of 30. And once you have a few of these, we have a pack. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and stay tuned for more.